I'm Gerard, that's Mickey, she's Candice, and our first ever guest, Dan Holloway, from the Drinker Bros and Citizen Podcast, is here to discuss a new way to define the word thug. Mia Khalifa has thoughts on men. Tristan Harris explains how TikTok is ruining the youth, and somebody actually saved somebody in Cleveland. But first, Elon Musk has a message. For advertising.
Freaking nailed it.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself. But go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for watching. Dan, our first ever guest. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's about Bob Iger from Disney, who said he was going to pull advertising from there. Disney, by the way, is butt fucked right now in every way you can be. They just announced another $2.5 billion in cuts after 7.5 or $5 billion in cuts earlier this year from their streaming platform. I don't know. I mean, I like he's reaching like supervillain level at this point, like Scrooge McDuck levels. Like, I don't have to listen to this bullshit. Fuck you. But he kind of does because he spent $44 billion on this company.
Yeah, but he had it to spend, right? What do you think, Candice?
I think it's great. I think he's saying what everyone's been wanting to say for a long time. And then also, if you're going to try to strong arm the richest man in the world with money, that's just insane.
Yeah, that's weird. The only thing that could have made this better is if he had gone full Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. Like, in the meantime, and as usual, go fuck yourself. That would have been perfect. But, look, we don't live in a perfect world.
Yeah, some people think that was Tom Cruise's Steve Levine. Mick, you have some different thoughts on Elon, huh?
All right, I like Elon. I know you guys are big. You call yourself an Elon stan, right? Mm-hmm. Big Elon fan. Mm-hmm. How you feel on Elon?
I think that it's unfortunate he oppresses people in Turkey, China, and India, frankly.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit of a dork.
How are you going to get that lithium?
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit of a dork. Like, I think, like, even there, he's like kind of like.
Oh, he's
like
autistic as shit.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
it's like
do you hear what I just said?
Like, he's
audience, like, relax,
yeah, like,
bro.
That, I don't know. I think for the most part, he is giving the finger to the elites and shit, which is dope. I love that, but. Yeah,
I mean, if you get to pick,
he's not the perfect vessel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If you get to pick
like
the dude that's going to be rich and be an asshole about it, he's not the worst choice, to be honest. I mean, he's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Right. He's really
I
funny,
actually like the differently abled people, unlike some people over here. But yeah, I mean, listen.
Are you talking about because he's autistic?
Huh? No,
Dude,
because he's South African.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, that's way worse.
So no, but listen. Here's the deal, right? I mean, they're trying to blackmail him. He knows their plans. He knows their playbook. One of the reasons I think everybody hated Donald Trump so much on the left is because Donald Trump knew their playbook and used it against them. And he's doing the same thing. He's like, you're going to blackmail me? And then the reaction that you got from Sorkin going, come on, man, just please be obedient. Just come on, you need advertising. What do you mean? Nah, this is the playbook for all of us. Just fuck them.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Go full Charles Barkley. The women in San Antonio are fucking fat.
What they got in San Antonio, Chuck? Big old women.
The American Express halftime report.
Women down there.
They are.
As a matter of fact, it's the fattest city on earth. Do you know that?
Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me?
Everything's got to be a personal. What are we doing here? San Antonio is the third fattest city in America, right? It is the 7th largest city by population in America, which makes it statistically the fattest city on fucking earth. Because other countries don't have fat people like we do.
They
don't have Rascal Scooter fat people.
Nah, we're holding that shit down. We're holding that down. That's us.
Diabetes type 7, that's us.
Yeah, that's hilarious too because like the door to the Alamo is like 1.5 feet wide.
It has to be, dude.
So,
it has to be.
That's it. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. Like Elon Musk, he is an imperfect messenger, and sometimes I love him as a stan, but then I also realize I have like my entire net worth like wrapped up in his company. So I don't know.
That doesn't bode well for you then.
Yeah, I think so far done so good. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to stand up. I love that he went on CNBC. It had to be the most interesting CNBC segment of all time, right? I mean, you don't get the the GFYs on CNBC all the time. But what are we supposed to do? We're just supposed to sit here and take it? Is that the idea? Like whatever these people say, we just have to do. We have to be good, obedient little boys all the time. Otherwise, what?
Andrew Jackson said, "One man with courage makes a majority." right?
Yeah.
I've always taken that to heart.
What did Elon Musk say that got him in trouble?
Well, this
He just like shared some post and said that this is the literal truth, but I don't even remember what it said. It was some dumb bullshit.
Multiple companies are suspending their advertising on the social media site X. This comes after owner Elon Musk called an anti-Semitic post, quote, the actual truth. Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, Lionsgate, IBM, and Apple have all suspended their advertising.
he does it all the time. He just like he's a provocateur in some ways, and he has
Like he trolls a little bit.
Oh yeah.
kind of He also just has this sense of humor of like a 16-year-old like kid that's in a Call of Duty fucking lobby. Like that's his sense of humor. Like and they think like a retweet is an endorsement. Like at this point. Does anybody, like, how many times did somebody have to be, retweets are my own, thoughts are my own, it's not an endorsement? No, it's just, he thought it was a funny thing.
I hate that on profiles.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's almost as bad as pronouns.
Yeah, if there's
Both of
somebody's...
those things, unfollow.
If somebody has their pronouns in their bio and a Ukraine flag, I immediately say there's just nothing this person
Well,
can
now
say
it's a
that I'm going to take seriously.
Palestinian flag.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We've moved on.
We've moved on.
Oceania has always been at war with Palestine.
So how do you guys feel about Israel-Palestine, guys?
Well, Palestine's not a real place.
Huh?
Never
Palestine's
has
not a
been.
real place.
Palestine
technically.
would argue Israel's not a real place.
Well, they would be wrong.
Well, I mean...
What did
This is the thing. You just fight it out, right? At the end of the
Exactly.
day. Go
yeah.
for it.
Just fight and see what happens, dude.
Yeah, fight it out.
Like if you and I had a beef over something, we just have to go fight and then deal with it later.
That's the idea.
You deal with the consequences of the fight, and that becomes your life, right?
Or you either have the fight or you don't have the fight.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's not going to stop until one of those two places are gone.
Well, I mean, Israel is what, 6 million people, 8 million, I think. Is it 9?
9.5.
Does that
Wow.
include the colonies in New York and Florida, or
I'm not talking about the diaspora. I'm talking
Oh,
about
sorry.
actual Israel.
Yeah, 9.5.
Right.
Yes.
9.5.
I think I just made 7% of Candice a little uncomfortable. I apologize.
13%.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
boy.
Forgive me.
Don't.
Only the good 13 though.
Yeah, math, right?
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
Absolutely.
She gets a discount on the extra.
What was the
6%.
point of the population number? What and how much is Palestine?
Well, I mean, in every country, if you look at Israel on a map, it's like they're pushing out people from their land. It's a little tiny sliver, right?
Yeah, they're
And
like the
then
size of Jersey.
Like everything around it is all Arab and Muslim. So it's like, all right, let's relax. I'm as critical of the Israeli government as anybody, but let's relax with their bullshit. You know what I mean?
Which is, just to be specific,
The idea that the open air mall was a fucking concentration camp before they started bombing it. I didn't like the fact that they bombed it. I think that was a mistake. Me as a gunfighter, send me in there, put me in danger. I'm fine with that. Blowing up neighborhoods is not on my fucking bucket list.
do you think, that's our 1 minute, that's our new 1 minute buzzer as we get down to 1 minute left in this and we get to final thoughts. I'll ask you one question and then your final thoughts, Dan. Do you think the Israeli government knew about the incoming attacks?
I don't know. I would be speculation for me to answer that question. It seems unlikely they didn't.
So you don't know. I don't want to speculate. Immediately speculates. Love it.
No, I mean it's the most spied on piece of territory in all of humanity, like now or ever, right? So seems unlikely that somebody didn't know something.
I agree.
Frankly,
Candice, thoughts?
That's so cynical. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but that also makes sense. Like, how didn't anyone have any intel?
Yeah.
I hope not. Because that is like one of the conspiracy theories coming out is that Bibi knew and he's trying to prop up Hamas so that he can have a better argument, blah, blah, blah,
well,
blah,
that's
blah.
not a conspiracy theory. He has been propping up Hamas for years, right? That's a fact. And it's also a fact that they were months away from eliminating the judicial branch of government in Israel. That was what he was doing in this legislative session to get rid of the.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
But then
all right.
wasn't he like rescinded that and then said that he was going to take it to a vote because the people were so pissed?
Well, he owns the chamber though, so it's a parliamentary system. So they're the majority party. So they can pass it if they want to. That's just like saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do it unilaterally. I'm just going to have my buddies do it." You know.
Oh.
But yes, technically, he capitulated a little bit.
So what do you think about Elon Musk saying "Go fuck yourself," Nick?
I'm going to go back to Israel-Palestine, bro. I feel like both sides are doing fucked up shit, but...
Oh my God.
fuck-
Moral
fuck-
equivalency is nonsense.
but I
It's
say
not
fuck terrorism.
Oh
and
my God.
That, and, take that as you will.
Go ahead, Candice. Go ahead. Go.
No, there is no both sides. There is no both sides. There is no both sides. I mean, if you go back to just like the genesis of what you are now calling Palestine, all of those people are displaced because not even a day after Israel was made Israel, you had every single neighboring Arab country invade Israel. So then they displaced all of those people. Like, it's not like Israel did that. And then all of those people won't take their own people back. So now they're refugees, and then that is how you have what is Gaza Strip and then the West Bank. And then when you talk about Palestinians, like what Palestinians are you talking about? Because you have the Palestinians that are in the Gaza Strip. That's very different than the Palestinians in the West Bank. And then you have the Palestinians that are acclimated into it, and they're actually Israeli. Like, they're Israeli citizens. And if you poll them, like, it's over 90% of the Israeli Palestinians would not go to a Palestinian state. They said, fuck that. So no, it's not both sides.
What's not both sides?
It's not both sides doing terrible things. It's one side doing terrible things. And like, sure, I'm not saying Israel hasn't done anything ever, but like, if you have one group of people that's constantly putting bombs into, like, in condoms, they would put bombs and condoms in balloons and send them over into Israel.
Yeah,
right?
well, you don't want the bombs getting AIDS, right? Obviously.
Yeah, you want to be.
And then you have flotillas that are coming in with tons of weapons. And then you create a barricade because of these ships that are coming in loaded with weapons. And you're like, oh, they're trying to keep all of the resources out. Like, no, that's not what's happening. At some point, you have to say these people are coming in with suicide bombers.
Because they're retaliating, you're saying that doesn't make anything. That
it's
makes
not
everything
retaliating,
okay?
though. It's like you're defending your civilians.
That's what I'm saying. Retaliating, defending.
I don't think that retaliation and defending your people is the same thing. One is like revenge, and then that's more of a place of like an emotional state instead of just like doing the right thing.
I'll tell you what it is. It is the difference between West and East. It's a difference between individual and collectivism. So terrorist groups and Muslim groups in general, they are collective, right? They're collectivists. They're fucking socialists over there, right? I don't know if you've been to any of these countries, but they're all socialists. That kind of ideology makes you think that everyone that looks like the enemy is the enemy. It's a collectivist ideology.
It's how you sell martyrdom.
Yeah, it lends itself to monolithing, right? Whereas Western ideology is more of an individual. So you look at the individual and like, oh, that's a person that happens to be of that race, nationality, religion, whatever, but I don't care because they're my friend. They don't think that way because it's a collectivist ideology. That's what's really fucked up about it.
Interesting. And also, to give your Citizen podcast a plug, I believe it was on Citizen. I forget who it was, though. Very interesting point, which I thought was very salient. He said, if you need to know who the good guy and who the bad guy is in a murky situation, just see which one you'd rather be captured by. You know, and that's you know, when it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it's very clear if you were captured by one side, it would go very, very poorly for you as compared to the other side. Speaking of going very, very poorly, guys, we have a lawyer who's using the semantics argument to try to get off Young Thug.
Fully humble under God. It was his path. If he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be.
So for people that don't know the longer clip there, Young Thug's lawyer is trying to essentially say that the prosecution is looking to defame his client by saying that his name is Young Thug and he's a criminal and he's a blood when he's really just thankful and humble under God. Mick, you have some thoughts on this?
I don't know, man. Candice, if I started calling you like before when I was calling you a cunt and going like this to you, right? Remember? You knew I meant like cool, underappreciated national treasure, right?
Of course.
You knew that. And this doesn't mean the middle finger. This means I hold you in the highest regard. It's the tallest finger. You know what I mean? So I'm like, cunt. Like it's a good thing. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. Yeah.
I buy that.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
That.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna start using that too.
Yeah.
Wow. So
cool, underappreciated national.
Yeah, but you don't want to say all those words.
No, it's
I got
quicker.
shit to
You know
do,
what I mean?
yeah. So
brevity.
Cunt.
Neurologically intelligent go-getter.
Whoa, nope. I don't like it, Jake. I don't like it.
Candice, you have any thoughts on the
Canceled Weekly.
legal approach?
I don't know enough about what's going on with that clip, but I think if you go by a thug and you admit to being like the biggest blood ever, it's probably safe to say
Yeah,
that
he's
you're not
self-incriminated
a great
himself so
person.
much in his music.
Yeah.
So give us the background. You're a Young Thug fan, right?
Hell yeah, bro.
So give us Young Thug.
The biggest one. No,
He's known for pushing P. I
Digits.
I love the song where he goes.
That's stoner songs him too. But yeah, he talks about, like, I remember after one of his songs, he's like, people don't even know I'm the biggest blood ever. I'm the biggest blood in the country right now. Grandmaster General, whatever the fuck he's saying. And then he talks about renting cars to people in shootings. It turns out he rented a car, gave it to someone that it was involved in a murder.
And
like he's snitching on himself. All the time.
Criminal mastermind.
Yeah.
So is this what the trial's about?
I think, yeah, they're using a lot of this shit against him. A lot of his lyrics and shit like that.
We know there's a bill in California right now that's trying to make it, not illegal, but to make an artist's art inadmissible in their prosecution.
Well, I mean, we grew up with gangster rap, and these guys were just like, Jay-Z. I mean, there's literally a song from Biggie called The 10 Crack Commandments.
There's more cameras and more like technology that can catch people nowadays. They can like kind of cross-check this stuff.
Yeah, especially if you record it and post it yourself.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, it's like those, what are those Mexican songs called that detail
Salsa.
a crime?
Oh.
No. Well, maybe. Right?
I don't know.
Salsa just means sauce, by the way. It's weird.
Got that sauce.
No, there's a style of like folk music in Mexico, especially north central Mexico, where the cartels operate, where a dude will just play a guitar by himself and sing a song about a cartel hit that went down.
It's called Desperado, and it's a movie, and it's awesome.
Well, it's not awesome.
Get the what? Salma Hayek in that movie.
Salma Hayek is awesome. She could be standing in a field alone, and I would watch that for 3 hours.
Antonio Banderas. El Cancion?
It's kind of good. If you like B movies, it's good. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that shit.
Steve Buscemi cameo in the beginning.
I've never seen it.
I'll take Once Upon a Time in Mexico, because that scene where Johnny Depp eats food at the cafe that's too good and he has to murder the chef. I understand that.
You get that?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this burrito's too good to complete the kill.
You got to die, bud.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what are your final thoughts on Young Thug there, Candice?
I mean, I don't have a lot to add on that clip. Just
this is like the Chewbacca defense from fucking South Park back in the day. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fucking Chewbacca.
But ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Now think about that for 1 minute. That does not make sense. Why am I talking about Chewbacca when a man's life is on the line? Why? I tell you why. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. If Chewbacca does not make sense, you must acquit. Here, look at the monkey. Look at the silly monkey.
Thuggy, by the way, a thugi is a Sanskrit word for a deceptive person. It was like a criminal gang in the 13th, 14th century. So it's meant the same thing for, let's see, 13, going on 700 fucking years now.
Wow.
Well, he's just
probably.
reclaiming
I mean, look,
the word.
You reclaim it, bud.
Yeah,
you do your thing.
Reclaim it. What are your final thoughts, Mick?
I mean, I think it's kind of hilarious. What was it again? Humbled under God. What was it?
Thankful, humble under God.
Yeah.
I'm sure his intention was not.
Life. He did Thug Life.
He was like the hate, like the Tupac one. He's like Thug Life stands for the hate you give something infants. Fuck everybody, something like that.
Oh boy!
Right? Like, it's like no, you're talking about Thug Life. Like you're about the Thug Life. He's Young Thug. He's like I'm a Young Thug. Like it's pretty. I think it's pretty simple here.
Do you think this is this funnier, or was it funnier when that dude's attorney, those J6 people called him all retarded? Remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, like the QAnon shaman guy. He was like, "Oh, look, my clients are all short bus people."
Oh, really?
You don't remember that?
A lot of these defendants, and he's referring to the defendants who breached the Capitol on January 6th, the insurrectionists. And I'm going to use this colloquial term, perhaps disrespectfully, but they're all effing short bus people. These are people with brain damage. They're effing, you know what that slur is. They're on the goddamn spectrum. But they're our brothers, our sisters, our neighbors, our coworkers. They're part of our country.
Speaking of that word, I think this clip was riskily endangering trust and risking depth. Enough dumbness.
Do you have an acronym machine over there? What the fuck is going on?
All I know is that Young Thug didn't do nothing. Free my man Jeffrey. And then read up on the 10 Commandments. And, there's a thing in the old school called omerta. Look it up, all right?
Yeah.
You know who else needs to go by omerta? You know what omerta is?
No, I was going to ask.
You know what omerta is?
No.
D'Anthony, you know what omerta is?
Yeah, it's the vow of silence, I guess, for the Italian mafia.
It's the code of silence.
Yeah.
That's right. And somebody who I wish would be silent is Mia Khalifa.
Are the easiest thing in the entire world. If you are wondering how you and another woman got the same man, it is because men are the easiest thing in the entire world. I have never wanted a man and not gotten him. Do you have any idea how many men have wanted me and not gotten me? There has never been a single man that I have wanted that I have not gotten because men
All right, who wants to say it? Who wants to say it?
No shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
Go on.
You're hot. Dudes want to fuck you, and then that's it. What the fuck are we talking about here? She just like, it's got the music playing behind it as if she's
like it's profound,
about to win the fucking Nobel Prize for this shit. It's like, did you guys know that dudes want to fuck me?
Well, do you think that there are more attractive women or like high value or whatever, more women that men want to sleep with or couple up with than men? Like there's more attractive women than men?
Yeah, I agree. I've never been attracted to a man once.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm not sure I'm
brother.
following your question.
Like, do you think that there are more 10s that are women than there are 10s that are guys?
First of all,
well, we evaluate talent very differently.
Let's start with this. We're not.
That's true.
We talk about false equivalencies here. Mia Khalifa's not a 10.
I think she's really pretty. Yeah, I would say she's a 10.
Yeah, but like if you're just
are
judging
you grading
on
a curve?
No, I would say she's a 10.
Have you seen
I don't
her
like her, but I
eyebrows?
think she's a 10.
It's
that was the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Have you seen her eyebrows?
I love her eyebrows.
Her eyebrows.
Her
hideous.
hair, her skin. I think she's a 10.
Really?
She never even has makeup on.
But I just think it's like she's like, yeah, I've gotten all these men, but which one does she have now?
Well, I mean, she's been engaged 3 times, divorced once.
got more rings on LeBron.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah.
It's like, all right, you might have got them. Did you keep any of them? Like,
no.
Well, I think you pawn them
She
after,
would
right?
be so far down my and this is to your point. If I wouldn't say no, but she would be so far down the list of like what I'd try to approach. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, at
You
this
would
point,
see her at a bar and you wouldn't want to approach her?
I would see
She'd probably
other.
be the prettiest girl in the bar.
That's a shitty bar. I shouldn't go to that. Like, there's way, way, way better looking women.
well, we're into the field of subjectivity at this point now. Let's be objective. She's clearly objectively an attractive woman
For sure.
to most people. Whether you want to
She's got some tig old bitties.
If you want to talk about her eyebrows, we can get into that later. There's a Pray the Gay Away camp right down the street, and Nikki and I'll drag her ass down there.
Listen, all right. I'm not interested in Scientology. All I'm saying is that, come on. I honestly, I never got it. Even when she was like this whole thing with her, and I guess the whole thing was like she fucked in a burqa, so every paraglider in the world was super into it, But I don't give it there's so many better looking women. Am I crazy?
I don't know. I don't think that's the point of the video. It's basically like, yeah, she's a hot chick. Guys gonna want to fuck, but like, duh.
Yeah, it's what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like she's just realizing that there's value in her life, that she has something to offer people. She's just realizing like, oh my God, this is a very attractive commodity to people, and I've just been giving it to them. You know what I mean? That's what's going on in her head right there. That's why she's angry.
Yeah.
You can see her get angry.
I thought she was just like flexing, like she's undefeated.
I got that too. I got that too. I got that too. Yeah, but she's trying. I feel like she's trying to hide a bigger.
Do you know who flexes? The insecure, the weak. Like a fucking man doesn't have to flex. You know what I mean? When I say a man, I mean like a fucking alpha. An alpha doesn't have to flex.
Everybody else flexes.
They speak quietly. They fucking walk around however they want to. They're not fucking. They don't have invisible lat syndrome and everything. And women are the same fucking way. Loudmouth, all that stupid fucking anti-man bullshit. It's just the inverse of the Sigma male. That's all it is. It's like, oh, dudes don't have any value, but they've taken all of my value from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to be very clear. I would fuck her. but also at the same time.
I feel like now you're flexing a little bit, to be honest, because all that
don't
gay
really
shit that
think you're
happened.
gay,
I didn't
bro.
say I could fuck her. That would be the flex. I said I
Oh, no,
would
you
fuck
could.
her.
I feel like he's like you're
Consensually?
a little bit.
I mean, I could. The consent part of it is what's up in the air.
Look, this isn't a fucking courtroom, bud.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know how that works.
Oh my God.
What? What? I said I wouldn't do it. What's happening here?
Do you think there's anything like that you agree with in what she's saying, really?
I think it's easier for women to get a guy than for a guy to get a girl.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's like we talked about it before. Like a woman could just walk up to the door, bang on the door, and go, "Hey, want to fuck?" And like most guys are gonna be like, "Yeah."
I'll run a black light over her first, just to make sure there's not already cum on her.
But if any guy knocked on and said that to a girl, they'd be like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Like, you know what I mean? Like that wouldn't fly.
That's sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So if you ran the black light and there was cum like on her belly, would you just flip her over and this is fine?
I would
still? Or
ask.
Is this like when you turn underwear inside out at like
It's
the day before laundry day?
That's just, to ask follow-up questions.
Oh, is that gross?
Yeah.
Why?
I just give her the Pulp Fiction hose down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
Jim, the soap. Okay, gentlemen, you've both been to county before, I'm sure. Here it comes. God damn!
Yeah, I think, Mick, you made a kind of a salient point earlier, and I want to expand upon and I agree with. I think it's easier for a woman to get a man, and it's easier for a man to keep a woman. I think once men get a woman, our interest kind of wanes, and it has to be a pretty special girl to make us keep coming back and back and back. Whereas a woman, it's very hard to get her, but then once she allows you in, she wants you to keep coming all the time and texting and all this other shit. So like, you know, it's kind of those two ships passing in the night thing. It's like, we try very, very hard to bang you, and then once we've banged you, it's like, well, good day, madam.
My lady.
That makes sense. Women seek out security more than men do, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Maybe not now, but historically speaking, that's accurate.
How much of that do you think is changing, and how quickly is it changing?
I think
Is
a
it
lot
evolutionary.
of it is changing, yeah. No, it's not evolutionary. It's just, it's circumstance. Women can provide for themselves now to some degree, right? So the value that men have for them has now been diminished quite a bit.
There's no barbarians at the gate at night.
And modern Western men haven't figured out how to articulate their value or even modify their value for modern women, right? Which is a big problem. Like that's why you're seeing all these Sigma male guys these days. Like, oh, fucking women are trash.
What exactly is a Sigma male?
Go through
beta,
the comment.
Alpha, beta, Sigma. What's the Sigma?
Sigma is like women have no value, basically, right? I'm
they're
black pilled.
black-pilled?
I'm black pilled. I'm out of it. I'm not. It's like I'm taking my ball and going home.
Is that
because
like the
girls,
I knew about
incel
alphas
thing?
and betas.
Yeah.
I knew about blue pills and red pills. And
Yeah.
now it's black pills and Sigmas.
Sigma, yeah.
I gotta
It's just
stay
like
up on this
And
shit.
then there's the Omegas, and then that's like an Elon.
Go fuck yourself.
I mean, if you're a billionaire,
There's an Omega male, and then what you would say an Omega male is someone who traditionally wouldn't be considered alpha, like they're not strong or masculine in like the obvious
Traditional ways, right.
but they've
like,
worked themselves into an alpha position.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's
So an
Omega.
artist, musician,
Silicon Valley.
Okay, okay.
tech guy.
So Sigma, they like hate women.
They hate themselves,
Okay.
and it manifests itself in hatred for women.
They hate the game, not the player.
Correct.
And that's the whole comment section on our last clip.
So-
It's the comment
It sounds
section
like-
everywhere on Twitter now.
So it sounds like it would go Alpha, Omega, Beta, Sigma, or Sigma,
well, I would
Beta.
say like
What did we
alpha
say? What's-
and
is
Omega
there
are
a-
probably tied because it depends on like what your interests are.
All I know is that the Beta
Okay.
Sigma house throws the
Right, that
worst
makes
parties.
sense.
Yeah.
Alpha, Omega. could be the
No,
same tier.
because if an
Same
Omega
tier, same
shows up
tier?
here right now, I immediately stay the alpha. There's nothing an Omega can do in this room that makes them the alpha over me. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because I'll stab that motherfucker's face out.
Gotcha. So it's like as he literally
He has a
holds
knife.
At the end of the
in his
day, it
hand.
comes down to one man with a gun or
Yeah.
an instrument versus another man with a gun or instrument. It's just the way it is, right? So, but yeah, for
At
argument's
the end of the
sake-
day.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, kill or be killed.
Well, we're getting close, so
Let's get to it.
yeah.
Speaking of getting close, and let's get to it. Now, is it Tristan Harris?
It's Tristan.
It's Tristan
I
Harris.
know Dan disagrees.
No,
but
we're
it's
gonna add an
Tristan.
H in your name if you wanted me to fucking pronounce it differently, asshole.
And as Mickey taught me, Tristan Harris stands for truly reading interesting. Anyway, so the Tristan
I think
Harris.
the S actually stands for serial rapist.
Ah.
Yeah.
Which, well, interesting story off camera about that. So
That's
About Tristan?
about the last time we were in.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yeah, so you told us
I don't know
last time
what's
we were
going on.
last time we were here, just real quick. Last time we were here, you told us that there was a serial killer here in Austin,
yeah, the Rainy Street Ripper.
and that's a real thing.
But it's like it's not rapey or anything. It's somebody's pushing, or like this is the conspiracy theory. Somebody's drugging and then pushing frat guys into the fucking river downtown, and they drown.
Maybe it would have, because I'm pretty sure the closest thing I've ever seen or met to what is definitely some sort of serial something was stalking our friend Candice here in downtown Austin last time we were around here. Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. It was a young Jeff Goldblum.
Did you get a picture of him?
You guys smack the
And
shit
then
out of him,
Gerard
or-
was like trying to leave me with him, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, good
No, I was like, "You are walking me to my hotel."
But I am
Yeah.
tired.
He had to go check
Gerard,
out.
I'm not proud of you this episode.
This is not what happened.
I'm not proud of you this episode,
And then
bro.
Gerard goes, "Well, I
You need
don't
to
know."
redeem yourself.
He's like, "I don't know. I didn't know if you're trying to leave with him." I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
No, it's not what happened at all. It didn't go down like, you know what? Fuck this. Play Tristan Harris.
Call him
most
Tristan now.
aspirational career that you want to have. In the US, the #1 was influencer. If you're under 14 years old, they show you science experiments you can do at home, museum exhibits, patriotism videos, and educational videos. Don't ship that version of TikTok to the rest of the world. So it's almost like they recognize that technology is influencing kids' development, and they make their domestic version a spinach version of TikTok, while they ship the opium version to the rest of the world. In China, the #1 astronaut. Again, you allow those two societies to play out for a few generations, I can tell you what your world is going to look like. What is the most
Candice, you're the only one here that's not barren and impotent. What do you think? What do you think about your kids growing up in a world? Are you going to allow your kids to be an influencer, or would you
No.
prefer they were an astronaut?
Definitely an astronaut. And right now, that's like my oldest, like, major obsession is space and all of that. So I think you have to nurture their nature, right? So you have to find their interests, be a present parent, not give them a device because you feel like you don't want to do your job and raise the kids that you decided to have. So, like, while all of that's true, the responsibility lies with the parents. Like, why are you giving them TikTok? Right?
Dan, you worked in cyber technology. Would that be fair to say?
I've got a degree in it.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's not really a cyber tech issue. It's so we're having these debates about AI now, right? And there's the chicken littles who think the fucking sky is falling and Skynet's coming, and then there are people who are more reasonable, which is like, this is a tool, we're going to use it for something, right? Sure, social and digital media are a tool that you can use to help raise your child for 100%, right? I mean, not like set them down in front of an iPad for 8 hours a day. That's a mistake because you don't know what the fuck they're watching. So I don't get too bent out of shape about certain stuff, but yeah, it matters who your heroes are, right? This is what Yuri Bezmenov was talking about in this whole plan from the Soviets to dismantle national pride in America.
Active
right?
measures.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a big part of it, is to tear down the heroes you have by whatever means necessary. It was a problematic tweet 85 fucking years ago or whatever.
Or if you're the founding father of the country, owned a
Correct,
slave.
yeah. And you know, then let people like Angel Reese become heroes, right? Who's like, oh, fucking look at my ring, and now she's missed 4 games. She's a piece of shit and a bad sport, right? But she's a hero for it. And we fucking talk about it over and over on ESPN.
She plays college basketball for LSU.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
She's known for being very, very pretty and very
she's a cunt.
Arrogant, I guess. Well, yeah, which stands for Mick.
Cool, underappreciated national treasure.
There it is. That's you, Angel Reese.
So I guess there's not a lot of flat earthers in China.
No, there's just a lot of flat asses.
I haven't checked on the dump truck situation over there. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I have to check it out.
I've been to San Francisco. I'm going to assume that that's close enough.
I think it's pretty sad how everybody wants to be like a TikToker or YouTuber. Like, and they look down on like being like a plumber, electrician, shit like that. Even though those people are making more money than all these half-ass.
Yeah, but be a plumber on TikTok, right? So this is a modality. Digital media is a medium to something. That's all it is. Do the thing. Go farm. Go do whatever the fuck. Go do action sports. Go fight. Go like learn a skill. Become a fucking astronomer or whatever the fuck, and then put it on there for sure. Use it to use this device to monetize what you're doing, but you still got to do the goddamn thing.
Right.
You still have to do the thing.
But now kids just want to do the dances and be like admired for that.
They start downstream. Like, okay, I'm gonna be a TikToker now. How do I fucking become a successful one? That's backwards.
Okay.
That's not the way you should do that.
So the only pushback I agree with you to a certain extent, but the only pushback I'll give you on that is that these things are engineered to drive their behavior. Right, like you have an 8-year-old with a supercomputer that's has every intention of making it addicted to it and driving its attention towards what it wants to and manipulating it and controlling it. Right,
it's aspirational marketing, yeah.
So now you say to yourself, okay, I mean that's like Uber grooming. If they're going on if they're going on YouTube, right, and YouTube is I think I read something where it was. Over 85% of all content viewed on YouTube now is recommended content. So it's not content your mom is showing you. It's not content your nanny's putting on. It's not content you're seeking out. It's content that the algorithm is pushing in front of you.
But that's why you have to do the settings for your kid.
Yeah, and some of us don't have moms.
Which is true.
I do, but some of us don't.
Yeah. Well,
just wanted to make you feel bad again.
I remember seeing the Asian kids like assembling and disassembling guns in their school. And like, meanwhile, what are our kids doing?
Well, you get suspended
learning about
if you
extra
talk
genders
about it.
and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, cause some like ridiculous woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, I think,
caring about
I think the things being a tool is really, really important, but at the same time, like, you wouldn't just give I wouldn't
give a chainsaw to a child.
That's what I'm saying. You're not giving a chainsaw to an 8-year-old,
No, but this is the conversation you got to have with the kid. It's like, hey, this is just a place to put the work that you do. You still have to do the goddamn work. You know what I mean? And that requires learning how to do it in the first place, trial and error, and all this other stuff.
Mickey kind of talks about that sometimes on Slick and Thick, where there's a lot of fighters, right? You say there's a lot of fighters who want to be thought of as fighters, but they don't want to actually fight, right?
They want the attention. They want to go to the bar and be like, "I do UFC, bro." And be, you know what I mean? But
God, of all the
really.
that's like joining the military for the uniform. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
There's a ton of TikToks coming out of the military, man.
I tell people,
but if you don't want to fucking fight, don't do it.
And it shows in the gym, and I'm like I'll tell people, like, you shouldn't. Like, you should just retire.
Yeah.
Like,
if there's any quitting you, you're going to quit, man. This is the way it is.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, and you're seeing a big kind of Instagram to porn pipeline, too, where these people get addicted to validation, external validation. There's older people that have money that are able to, kind of find these vulnerable younger girls and then say, hey, look, you're on Instagram. You got 1 million followers. You want to monetize it? So, I mean, is there, what do we do to kind of make sure that this tool helps us and doesn't harm us? And also, what are we doing if China is having their kids, if they're manipulating or grooming their next generation into wanting to be scientists and engineers while they're using that same technology to have us like
dumb us down?
Yeah, shake your ass for 15 fucking likes, kid. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, glizzy.
Ice cream's so good. Ice cream's so good.
Isn't that one girl she's making like?
This is Gerard's coming out episode. Sorry, I set you up for that one, dog.
I can't believe I drove 7 hours in the rain. Anyway, was I doing that right?
Into you? Why'd you look at me?
No, him. I was him. It was him. Yeah, why? I don't know. Anyway,
what's going into you?
I don't know, man. I'm fucked up. All right.
Her first tip is just gonna leave.
You know what's got into me? I know my career ended 35 minutes ago with that dumb bit I did. All right, our final.
What was it? Neurological instigating go-getters.
Something like that. Yeah. All I know is that it ended with an A. So let's finish with the last clip. I don't even know.
Who helped rescue the 3 women. You just saw him, Charles Ramsey. Remember that name. Here's his account in his own words.
Heard screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911." My name was Amanda Berry. The girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house. They look like they have been fed in a long time, bro."
And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will. Because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles. There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here.
Hearing it straight from Mr. Rand.
Look at how uncomfortable Stephanopoulos got right there.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things in the world, is making white people uncomfortable. Just people in general, I enjoyed their discomfort, but white people especially, because it's like it's only secondhand awkwardness. It's not awkward in reality. They just feel some kind of way, and it makes it awkward when it doesn't need to be, and I love that shit. That to me, like, you know what an energy vampire is?
Yeah.
Like, you've seen What We Do in the Shadows, that fucking dude? That's me, bud. I love that
I'm right
shit.
there with you. The anger and frustration of a white liberal woman is my adrenochrome. Yeah, I would, if I could bottle that and snort that.
Like Alyssa Milano.
For those of us who are not black men, imagine watching the news and seeing how people who look like you are portrayed.
I would milk her. I would take Alyssa Milano. I would staple her to the ground and just do my set in
I think
front
this
of her.
is residual from last night. I think that's what's happening.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
We need to sage you after this episode.
Send him on that retreat.
Yes, I'm serious.
Yeah, you want to smoke some DMT later?
Yes.
We'll clear it out.
That'd be great. Somebody say treat. What do you thought? What are your thoughts on that, Mick?
I thought it was funny. I think that clip. There's, if you watch that clip, another version. There's some really funny parts in it. He's talking about, I barbecue with the guy. We eat ribs. There's other parts where he's like, I knew something was wrong when the little white girl ran to the black man. Okay, and then he like hits it like 5 more times. We're like, he like knew he was being like he said something funny, so he says it like 3 more times.
I mean, this is
he's a fucking hero.
This is one of the best things. Anytime there's any kind of incident, whatever, like I know reporters do this. They just find the craziest looking black motherfucker in the area. I'm like, give that man a microphone. Remember
Charles Ramsey, remember that name?
Oh yeah,
Charles Ramsey.
It's like what was the other one? Everybody see Leprechaun say, yeah, remember that dude back in the day?
Oh yeah,
you just find the craziest looking motherfucker.
Hide your wife,
there.
hide your kids.
Yeah.
That was so
That's
good.
like way better than anything the Daily Show is doing anymore.
Oh, for sure.
Or Saturday Night Live. I watch that. I'll watch this all day.
Yeah,
Give me
for
these.
sure. And also, man, like Mick said, this guy's a hero, dude. Like, I think Amanda Berry, I think she's going around the country doing she's doing some work now with other people that have survived these sorts of.
Does everybody remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. For people that don't remember, tell them.
Yeah,
about
they
it.
had the fucking like front door was boarded up almost.
Crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
it was
weird.
in Cleveland,
Yeah.
and this guy had girls locked in his basement
like 11
for like years.
kids or something. I think it was a number of them. It's
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
you know,
like the movie Kiss the Girls.
Ohio
back in
is
the day.
one of the
Or
worst
was it
states in
Along
the
Came
country
Spider,
for that for some reason. I don't know why Ohio. Maybe
For
just,
kidnapping?
Yeah, there's like 1,100 missing kids in Ohio right now.
Really?
Whoa.
Did you think the Great Lakes? You think, or
Who the fuck knows, man?
There's 11 what?
1,100 missing children.
Oh my
18
God.
and under, or 17 and under, I guess.
And that goes back to that whole Wayfair conspiracy.
Yeah.
A lot of that was coming out of the Ohio area.
You need to check
apparently.
those Amazon shopping carts.
Yeah, for $10,000.
There's something with some guy connected
pillows.
to Epstein out there too, who has a lot of like something to do with Victoria's Secret.
Well, it was
Don't
the guy
try
in
to-
Columbus. The guy in Columbus. The guy
Yeah,
who basically
Columbus.
owns Columbus, right?
Yeah, he's a booster for Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Let me look up his name.
Yeah, he's got something to do with Victoria's Secret, right?
We asked Delco if he wanted to talk about one of our segments, and I don't think this was the segment.
It only came out because he hates Ross so much, and Ross went to Ohio State. That's the only reason he remembers that.
Yeah,
This is supposed to be the funny clip, and I think we go the most serious on this one. Right?
No, but he is. I
We're
mean, that-
uncovering a mystery right
I
here.
do enjoy these man on the street interviews like that because just the way they recount things is it's fucking it's ludicrous. I love it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the what's the guy's name? The booty warrior? Double, pull that up real quick. The booty warrior.
I remember the Whistle Tips in Oakland. That's a classic, right?
Uh-huh.
You ever seen that one?
I have not.
You should look that up. That's
really
real fun.
The Booty Warrior. And first do Booty Warrior Boondocks, just so that we get the... You guys have never seen the Booty Warrior?
No, I have no clue what you're talking about.
No, is it a wrestler?
This
or
is
something?
more gay Gerard shit, I think.
Yeah, it's just gonna be hardcore
really
gay
is.
porn.
It actually is. Wait, it is.
Yeah, what's up with you, bro? What happened
Is
last
this gonna
night?
be?
I don't
Is this
know.
like that Will Smith interview where there was murder in the room?
What is
Did you guys hear that?
No.
That was crazy. You haven't heard
he
that?
was getting murdered?
Oh, you didn't hear that?
No. It was
Whoa.
Will Smith's assistant talking about him getting fucked by some dude.
Yeah.
It was murder in that room.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that means. I've never heard that phrase before.
It means
He was getting
it means he
murdered.
walked in
Yeah.
and go, oh.
Yeah.
He witnessed the murder.
Looked like a fucking Jackson Pollock painting in here.
Didn't, yeah.
Oof,
Poop and blood, man.
Yeah, man, that's not a good, good thing there's no smell-o-vision. Booty Warrior.
Hold on, I just got out of the shower. There's some juice on the table.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
You want to explain to me what you're doing here?
I came looking for booty.
You came looking for sex with an underage boy?
Oh, no, I ain't come looking for no little boys. I ain't got no milk, no cookies, nothing. I came looking for man's butt.
A man's butt? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring in them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Well, I don't think you and I will be doing anything any kind of way.
Okay, I see you choosing the hard way.
Okay, cut. This isn't working. Someone get this guy out.
Don't make me ruin that butt, no, Chris. I'm a warrior.
Yeah, that was on Adult Swim.
What? That was on
Cartoon
TV?
Network.
Yeah.
What?
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Cartoon Network at night.
So, but there's a real guy, the Booty Warrior, and that's his real quotes. They used his real quotes.
We do the easy way or the hard way?
Yeah,
Is it getting interviewed in jail?
That's right. He's in jail. He's getting interviewed in jail. So
The Ohio State guy is Les Wexner.
Wexner.
God, he sounds like a fucking pedophile.
Right?
Well, he started Victoria's Secret, right?
Yeah.
He's
really?
the Vicky Secret guy, right? They're going back to women now.
Yeah,
How about
imagine that.
Well, I guess this
Fucking
is, this is a good enough place as any to wrap it up.
Hey, how'd it feel to be our first guest, bro?
Oh man, I'm sweating, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, not because of this. I did a bunch of cocaine earlier.
All right. Well, that checks out.
Well done.
Yeah.
It does check out, actually. I didn't really, but it does check out. It would have checked out if that had been true.
He says it. Candice looks immediately at the knife in his hand.
Don't worry about that little guy.
Oh, that little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
Yeah, you're great, man. Thanks for being our first guest.
Dan,
Yeah.
where can they find you, man?
Drinking Bros Podcast, Citizen Podcast.
Drinking Bros Podcast, Citizen Podcast. And from Chatting with Candice, the great Candice Horbeck. That's Mickey Gall. I'm Gerard Michaels, and this has been Canceled Weekly. We will see you next week.